Good afternoon, students. Today topic is memory storage. We will do the types of RAM and ROM. The classification of memory include the types of memory. In the types of memory, one type is of RAM, other is of ROM. RAM is further divided into two parts. One is called the SRAM, other is called the DRAM. And ROM is divided into PROM, EPROM, and EEPROM. SRAM stands for static random access memory. DRAM stands for dynamic random access memory. ROM is programmable read-only memory. EPROM stands for erasable programmable read-only memory. EEPROM stands for electronically erasable programmable read-only memory. What is the difference between SRAM, DRAM, PROM, EPROM, and EEPROM? Firstly, we will start with the SRAM. SRAM stands for static random access memory. Here, the data is stored in transistors and requires a constant power flow. Because of this continuous power, SRAM does not need to be refreshed to remember the data being stored. As there are two types of technique, one is when there is a need to refresh the RAM, other is when you don't have to refresh the RAM. SRAM is the word S stands for static. That means you don't need to perform any interaction, means you don't need to refresh. SRAM is called static as no change or action, that is refreshing is not needed to keep the data intact. Advantage is low power consumption and faster access speed. Disadvantage is less memory capacity and has high cost of manufacturing. When we compare SRAM with the DRAM, dynamic RAM is data is stored in capacitor. As in static RAM, we are using the technique transistors, but here we are using capacitors. Capacitor that store data in DRAM gradually discharge energy, so no energy means the data has been lost. A periodic refresh of power is required in order to function. SRAM is called dynamic as constant change or action, that is refreshing is needed to keep the data intact. As in the case of SRAM is concerned, there is no refreshing is required, but as the case of dynamic is concerned, refreshing is required. Advantage is low cost of manufacturing and greater memory capacity. Disadvantage is slow access speed and has high power consumption. Now, we will consider one table where we will compare the features of both. First is in SRAM, transistors are used to store information. In DRAM, capacitors are used to store data or information. As there are transistors are used, so there is no leakage, but in the dynamic, capacitors are used, so there are leakage of charge, so we require refreshing in dynamic RAM. In SRAM, capacitors are not used, hence no refreshing is required, but in DRAM, capacitors are used, so there is need of refreshing again and again. SRAM is faster as compared to DRAM. Here, the DRAM provides slow access speeds. SRAM is expensive as compared to DRAM. DRAM is cheaper as compared to your SRAM. SRAM are low density services where DRAM has high density services. SRAM are used in cache memory, whereas the DRAM is used in main memory. Now coming to the types of ROM. First is programmable read-only memory. In PROM is a form of ROM that is one-time programmable. One-time programmable means only we can program it only once and it can never be reprogrammed. The key difference from ROM is that programming is applied after the device is created. That means the ROM is created when the device has been ready. The ROM is designed according to the device which has been designed. Erasable programmable read-only memory. Here the difference between EPROM and PROM is that we said in the PROM it is programmed only once. We cannot erase the data if it has been written once. But as the word erasable is there, that means it can be erased. That means the content can be erased from the ROM by putting the ROM in front of the UV lights. Then is electronically erasable PROM. Here the difference is we can erase the content of EPROM by using some electronic techniques, as we can erase the content of EPROM by using the UV rays, but the programmer will read only memory. We cannot delete the content. You have to keep in your mind that what are the key differences among the all. First is PROM. We cannot erase the content. Once it has been written, we cannot erase it. EPROM, as the word is there, that means erasable is there. We can erase the content by using UV lights. Electronically erasable means we can erase the content by putting the ROM in front of by using some electronic techniques. Now coming to the next, computers are made of two things. One is called the hardware, other is called the software. Hardware means computer hardware refers to the physical components or the parts of that computer system that we can see and touch. There are few examples. One is called the CPU, then RAM and ROM, which is in the form of chip, then data buses. We say data buses. Data buses means the wires. Whatsoever the wires are there in the CPU are called the data bus in your technical term. Otherwise, in simple language, we say these are all the wires. But if we use some computer technical term, then we say these are the data bus which are used to carry over data. Then there are some ports. Ports are the some sort of, you may say that, where you can put your devices like where you insert your USB, your pen drive, your CD drive, your floppy disk drive, your hard disk drive, where you can put on your printer. These are called the ports. There are certain ports that are available to your CPU. Then the motherboard, which is concerned with the graphics system, and wheresoever when your operating system is going to be installed, then your motherboard is concerned there. Then hard disk drive, that is the storage unit where your data will be get stored. Then your output devices and input devices, which we have covered in our previous session. Coming to the computer software. Computer software refers to the instructions that tells the hardware what to do. That means both the hardware and softwares are interrelated. Your hardware cannot work without software. Your software cannot without hardware. Both are dependent upon each other. Without the appropriate software, the computer cannot do anything. Software can be classified into two parts. One is called the system software, other is called the application software. Coming in detail about the system software. System software is a software which is required to run your system. Otherwise, your system won't work. As the word is saying, system software, that means a software which is related to system. Your system means your computer system. And what is the mandatory thing that is required to run your computer system is your operating system. That is one of the example of the system software. As far as your system software is concerned, we may say that the software which is required to run your system. As I said, one is example is called the operating system. The other example that is required to run your system is, or you may say that you run any type of system activity, is called drivers. Sometimes it is said that you have to install your laptop driver, you have to install your keyboard drivers. What does it mean? That means for the functioning of any particular device, you have to install its particular drivers. USB drivers are missing, so you have to install it according to your device. That are called the drivers. That category is also included under the system software. Or when we're concerned with the programming, or we can say that some editors are there, which is called system programming. Then some compilers are there, which is come under system programming or system software. Then comes the loader, linker. This may be new terms for you. For your better understanding, you have to make in your mind that what is, if the system software word is concerned, then operating system is system software. Drivers are one of that kind of system software. Then coming to the application software. Your application software cannot work without the system software. So first thing that is mandatory is system software. You have to install any type of operating system according to your requirement on your system. Then you can install the number of apps on it. Similarly, if you are having one Android phone or iOS phone, that means one mandatory thing that your Android or iOS should be on your mobile. Then only you can install the app. You cannot install the app directly. Here, this application software will take some examples like VLC Media Player is one of the example of the application software. Your Internet Explorer is one of the example. Your Google Chrome is also one type of application software. Your MS Office, where you can access the MS Word, MS PowerPoint. This is also one kind of application software. If you are having system software, then only you can go with the application software. Any type of programming language comes under the category of application software. To run that programming language, sometimes we require editors, compilers, linker, loader. That is all the concern that is related to run a programming language that comes under the system software. Now further is type of computers. There are four kinds of computer. One is called the microcomputer, then comes the mini computer, then comes the mainframe computer, and last comes the supercomputer. So, by looking at the types of these computers, first is the microcomputer, or we may say that personal computer. The system that we generally use is called the microcomputer, personal computer. A single user computer is small or single user computer based on a microprocessor. Each and every device which is having some sort of processing, that means it is having some processor. You must have heard about Intel processors, AMD processor. That is one type of processors that are used in your computer system. Otherwise, if I relate this same examples of processor with your mobile phone, then Snapdragon is there, Qualcomm is there. These are the type of processors you generally look for when you are going to purchase your mobile devices. What is the purpose of processor? The main purpose of processor is for processing. As we know, we will give input, then there is a processing, and we get the output. The work that is the simple computer which is having a processor is called personal computer or your microcomputer. Each computer carry one sort of processor, but it may depend which type of configuration of each computer has. It could be possible some computer may have high configuration processor or some may have low configuration processor. As we generally use computer in our laboratories, in our practical labs, are general computers which is having normal configuration. We don't need any high-end configuration systems. Fine. Then is mini computer, a multi-user computer capable of supporting up to 100 of users simultaneously. Mini computers are generally used when we are working in some sort of organization. Then there is a sharing of data is there. Then the mini computers are used where one sort of server is there and all the systems are connected to that. It is called a mini computer. Then the mainframe. By increasing the capacity and size of the users, the name of the computer has been changed. A powerful multi-user computer capable of supporting hundreds or thousands of users simultaneously. By looking at personal means your personal system where you are having single user. As a mini computer is there, that means you are having 100 of users. As the main frame computer is there, where you are having 100 to 1000 users. Then comes the last category that comes as a supercomputer. Supercomputer are the fast computer that can perform hundreds of millions of instructions per second. That means the fastest computer which are generally used for the research purposes are called the supercomputer. At the time of research, no simple computer, no personal computer will be used. They use generally the high-end systems. Then comes the computer virus. Computer virus is a computer code or program which is capable of affecting your computer data badly by corrupting or destroying them. That is the definition of virus. What is a virus? Basically, virus is a code, a program which is done by one programmer. As we use the term hacker for that programmer, because the code has been written by any programmer. In that cybercrime terms, it is a hacker. Fine. The code that has been written and has been inserted into your system and that affect your system badly or corrupt your system is called computer virus. A computer virus has the tendency to make its duplicate copies at a swift pace. That means a virus has the tendency to replicate itself. It can make many copies of itself and also spread it across every folder. Sometimes it could be possible that if you are going to get data from someone USB, you just plug in that pen drive on your system and you may found that your system will be get full with virus. Your each folder will contain the same type of file. That means the replica of that virus or that file has been created by just plugging that pen drive into your system. It may damage the data of your computer system. A computer virus is actually a malicious software or malware that, when affecting your system, replicate itself by modifying other computer program and inserting its own code. Sometimes it could be possible that you must have heard the term phishing attack. I will tell you how generally this virus is attacked. First is very general method that is used by using inserting infected pen drives or USB. We say that we use a CD or USB from someone which is already infected. By when we plug in that infected pen drive, then our system will also get affected. The other is called phishing attack. Right? What is that phishing attack? I will generally tell you 2-3 terms related to the viruses. Phishing attack is when we generally use Phishing, why it is called phishing attack? When we say phishing is there, when a person is going to catch the fishes from the river by putting the over the net. Similarly, you will get some email from unauthorized person. Fine, the person is not known to you, and it is said you are providing, you have won a lottery of 1 lakh, you have won a lottery of 1 crore. Just there is a link provided, just click on that link and fill that form, you have won that lottery. That is what a link is, one sort of virus. So generally when you get this type of mail, don't open it. When you get any type of link, don't open it either. This nowadays you are getting these type of links on your WhatsApp and some messages also related to you are having this type of data, you have to fill it, otherwise your account will be get blocked. Third is called phishing, is called trapping, to trap one person. Fine. Ransomware attack. Ransomware attack, that is in Hindi we say firoti is there. Fine. When you kidnap some person and ask for money from their parents and other thing, that is called ransomware. In ransomware, this type of, this is also one type of virus. It will be get inserted into your system and you will get a message that you have to update your system within 24 hours, otherwise your system will be get crashed. The person who is not very technical will be get into trap and will update the system. They must have sent you some sort of file which may corrupt your data or which may hack your data. The file may contain such type of code that it may hack your personal details. Could be possible you have saved your bank accounts there or some personal passwords there. The data or the program that has been inserted into your system is just to mislead you, that you have to update your system. When you update your system, your personal information will be get hacked by that person. Or now these type of attacks are very common on your mobile phones. When your mobile devices are working in a slow manner, that it could be possible that you are getting some sort of virus attack. Sometimes it is also possible that when you get some update version, when you update your mobile device, you may get some sort of virus. Basically, many application softwares are there where they also provide some sort of viruses just to have your data. So when you are going to install, must follow that there are some good review of that particular application, then only so install that application. Otherwise, don't install unnecessarily any application in your mobile device as well as in your computer system. Further coming to sources of computer viruses. First is the internet, that is the primary source of computer virus. Via downloads or in exchanges. Exchanges means when you send one mail to the another, you may found that when there is a chain which has been sent to multiple person, the same email has been forwarded to multiple person, that means a same virus has been sent to so many person. Could be possible from thousands of people, one may open that link, right? This is one sort of a source where the computer virus will be get inserted into the system. Other is diskettes, that means by using pen drives or other CD, DVD, which is already infected, may cause virus in your computer system. Then the computer network, it can be separate from network to network. Effect of viruses. Lack of storage capability means you won't be able to store data in your particular device that you are using in your computer system. The virus will occupy the space. You won't get the empty space, lack of storage capability. Then is decrease in the speed of executing programs or tasks that you are performing. It may slow down the speed of your computer system. Then is unexpectedly error messages. It could be possible that when you any sort of virus has been inserted into your computer system, you will get one sort of window every time as this file is missing, a particular exe file is missing. This error message will appear again and again. How many times you will cross that message, ignore that message, but that message will appear again and again on your computer system is one sort of virus is there. Halting the system, that means stopping the system again and again. It may reboot your system or restart your system again and again. This is also one effect of computer virus. Then what are the ways by which you can protect your system from the viruses are a software package distributed with new PCs always include an antiviral program. That means you must install some antivirus into your computer system. Antivirus, you can install antivirus into your system, or you may activate the window firewall is one of the thing which is available into your system. You can protect your system by halting or by stopping some unrecognized website from your system. You can block that website which may cause virus into your system. These are the ways by which you can protect your system from viruses. Starting with the next topic, that is history of operating system. Here we will study what is operating system all about, what are the various type of operating systems are there. We have just discussed some brief ideas about the operating system. Now we will discuss in detail about the operating system. There are four type of generations are there. First is since 45 to 55, which type of devices are used? Vacuum tubes are used. In the second generation, transistors are used. Then in the third generation, there is ICs are used, that is called the integrated chips or integrated circles. Then in the fourth generation, large scale integration are used, and nowadays very large scale integration are used, that is called VLSI. And coming to the main definition, what is the purpose of operating system? What does we understand about operating system? Suppose we are user, we want to work with hardware, we want to access hard disk drive, we want to access keyboard, mouse, or any sort of hardware. Then there we require one intermediate which help us to interact with the hardware. That intermediate is known as operating system. So coming to the definition, operating system is a program that acts as an intermediary between user of a computer and computer hardware. That means what is operating system? Which act as an intermediate between us, that means user and hardware. Operating system goals. What are the goals concerned with the operating system? Execute user programs and make solving user problems easier. It helps us and make our work quite easy. Make the computer system convenient to use. Use the computer hardware in an efficient manner. This is the layers that are available. We are at the user end. We want to access the hardware. There is one application that we want to use. We want to interact with the hardware. Then how can we use? We require two type of thing. One is the application. We cannot run an application without interacting with the operating system. So user has to interact with the application, then application interact with the operating system, and then operating system interact with the hardware. This is the layered by layered operating system working by which we can use our operating system. There are following type of operating system that are available. First is called the batch operating system. Batch operating system. This is an old operating system that were used in previously. Batch operating system is the first operating system for second generation computers. Now we are in the 10th or 11th generation computer, but it was in the second generation computer. In this, the operating system does not directly interact with the computer. Instead, an operator, there was some intermediate that is called operator, take up similar jobs and group them together into a batch, and then these batches are executed one by one on a first come first serve principle. What's like, suppose you are entering in a class, one way is who will come first will get the benefit first. Who is coming first can sit on any bench according to his choice. That means first come first serve principle. The person who is coming at the end has no option left. He has to sit wherever the seat has been left. Fine. First come first serve principle said the person who is coming first will get the benefit first. And batch operating system means a similar kind of job. Similar kind of job, like there are 10% who want to do addition on something. They are doing same type of thing. That means they are performing addition. That means their group has been assembled. And when the group has been formed, then the operating system will start working. It is called batch operating system. Then comes the distributed operating system. The distributed operating system is a recent advancement in the field of computer technology and is utilized all over the world. That's too with great pace. Now, if we look at the today's scenario, then we are working in a distributed operating system. In a distributed operating system, various computers are connected through a single communication channel. That means if one computer is there, one computer can communicate to the another computer via having some link like either they can use the local area network, they can use the internet facility. That means two computers can have some sharing facility, two computers can communicate each other. This is called the distributed operating system. These independent computers have their memory units, CPU, and are loosely coupled system. That means they are not dependent upon each other. They may share their data, but they are not having any sort of dependency. When they need memory, they have their own memory. When they want CPU utilization, they have their personal CPU. They can just interact with each other, but they are not dependent upon any other for the resource purpose. This system processes can be of different sizes and can perform different functions. So you are having one system and I'm having one system. We are communicating with each other via the internet, but I'm having my personal keyboard, my personal mouse, and you are having your personal keyboard and personal mouse. We're just interacting, but we are not. And it could be possible that we may share our data, and it could be possible that we may not share our data. Then it is called distributed operating system. The major benefit of such type of operating system is that a user can access files that are not present on his system but another connected system. Similarly, as I told you, that you may share your data. In addition, remote access is available to the system connected to this network. If the two systems are working together, suppose you are having in an organization but you want some data from your colleague's system. If you are having sharing, then you can share the drives. Similarly, as we are sharing the drive on our Google link, that is what we are sharing. We're doing some sharing purpose. That is one sort of distributed operating system. Multitasking operating system. Multitasking operating system is also known as time sharing operating system. That means one system can perform multiple tasks. Actually, what happened in the multitask operating system, that suppose you are having the five task. Task means any type of job is there, right? You want to listen music, you want to access the internet, you want to access the MS Word, you want to access the MS PowerPoint, want to access some game. That means five jobs are there. It seems that all the jobs are working simultaneously, but actually what happened in the multitask operating system, that operating system divide their timeline into equal parts, that it seems that all are working together. You are listening music and at the same time you are accessing the internet, at the same time you are playing the game. It seems that they are performing all the tasks in the same time, but actually at the back end, operating system divide the time among all the activities, and then these activities will be get performed. But you are having the privilege that you can perform number of tasks. This is called multitasking, multi-program, multiple jobs. You can do multiple things at a single time. The multitasking system provides access to a large number of users, and each user get the time of CPU, and they get in a single system. The tasks performed are given by a single user or by different users. The time allotted to execute one task is called quantum, and as soon as the time to execute one task is completed, the system switches over to another task. The switch from one task to another task is very minute. It is not measurable to us. It is only measurable to the computer system that the task has been switched on. But actually, the operating system switch the time frame from one task to the another task. Then is called the network operating system. Network operating system are the system that runs on a server and manages all the networking functions. Any function which is related to the network is come under the category of network operating system. And they allow sharing of various files, applications, printers, security, and other networking functions over a small network of computer like LAN or other private network. When there is a sharing of resources are there, then we use the network operating system. In the network operating system, all the users are aware of the configuration of every other user within the network. That means if the two users are in the sharing mode, this is one type of, you may say that distributed system is there. In the distributed system, when we are sharing, we are only concerned with sharing of the resources. We are not concerned with the configuration of that particular system from where we are getting the data. But as far as the network operating system is concerned, a person who is using another system must be aware of which type of configuration the other person is having who is with in the same network. That's why network operating system are called tightly coupled system, because here the configuration is quite important. But in the distributed, we say that they are loosely coupled system. They are not depending upon the configuration. They are called loosely coupled. Here the configuration is having more emphasis. Then we may say that network operating system is having highly coupled system. Then is called the real-time operating system. The real-time operating system serve real-time system. These operating systems are very useful when many events occur in a short time or certain deadlines. We may say that the real-time system are generally used for that events only, which is only for smaller period of time, which is having a few timeline that this you have to complete your task in a particular time frame. Then we use the real time operating system. Then comes the mobile operating system. The mobile operating system that you are using, Android and iOS, are the mobile operating system. As in the Nokia mobile phones, they are using their window operating system. They are their particular operating system. A mobile operating system is an operating system for smartphone, tablets, and PDAs. It is a platform on which other applications can run on mobile devices. Then what are the advantages that are related to your operating system? If we are using operating system, then the operating system helps to improve the efficiency of the work and helps to save a lot of time by reducing the complexity. How it is saving over time and how it is reducing over complexity? That means if we have to assess the hardware, then what is the other alternative to assess the hardware? Either we have to write program for each and to assess each and every hardware. If we want to assess hard disk, then we have to write a program to assess hard disk. If we have to assess keyboard, then we have to write a program to how to assess a keyboard. That means for each and every hardware device, we need a separate program. But operating system has resolved the complexity, has resolved our problem by just writing a single program which is named as a operating system. It we can work efficiently. The different component of a system are independent upon each other. The failure of one component does not affect the functioning of other. In the operating system, we are having certain components, but these components are not dependent upon each other. Operating system will work efficiently if one component will be get failed. They are not having any sort of dependency. The operating system mainly act as an interface between hardware and software. As we have to assess hardware or some software, that means operating system act as an intermediate. Interface means an intermediate. User can easily assess the hardware without writing large programs. As I told you that you don't have to write the program again and again to assess any sort of hardware device. You can simply assess the hardware by having operating system on your laptops or in your computer system. With the help of an operating system, sharing data becomes easier with a larger number of users. As we are using distributed operating system or network operating system or mobile operating system, if we compare the features of the all the operating system, then these operating system will come as which will make our work very easy. We can easily exchange our information with each other by having these type of operating systems. We can easily install any game or application on the operating system easily and run them. On our operating system, we can use our operating system for our entertainment purpose also. An operating system can be refreshed easily from time to time without having any problem. That means if any update of particular operating system is available, then we can update our operating system in few span of time. Whensoever there is a release of new update version of that particular product of particular operating system, we can update our operating system. The updated version may have some enhanced features. An operating system can be updated easily. There are various operating systems that are accessible in open source. As the word open source is concerned, open source means which is freeware, which does not has any charge. Unix and Linux are the freeware softwares, free operating system that you can install from the internet. Linux and Unix, these can easily run on the personal computer with no cost, that means free. An operating system is mainly used to hide the complexity of the hardware. An operating system easily manages the computer as programming becomes easier. With the help of operating system, multitasking also become very easy. Then there are few disadvantages of operating system. First is if we are not going to use the free operating system, then we are definitely going with the purchase a new operating we are going to buy an operating system which is not free. We have to pay for it. That means it could be possible that we have to pay more for that. It could be expensive. Then virus threat. Some operating systems are not secure. Windows is an operating system which is generally get affected by the viruses. Virus attack is very common over the Windows. Then complexity is there. Then system failure could be there. There are few example: Windows, Mac operating system, Linux and Unix.